What is up with it? Today we are back with another high ranked gameplay. I believe around this time I was around 15th on ladder, and I'm going to be playing GP versus a red green smoker. Going to have a 2-cost Nami, a 2-cost Bagua, Usahachi, and Sanji for 3 2Ks in the hand, and I think this will be a pretty easy mulligan, especially going first. Okay. Got a much better hand here, with 2 Sanji inputtings, a Sanji, a stage, and a Nami. And normally you want to draw before you search, but me personally, I really like playing a Nami on 1, even if I do have other searchers, just because I really like going 5-5 here. I think 5-5 on this 3-Dawn turn is really annoying for a lot of decks. Okay, opponent's going to go ahead and swing 5. No problem. We're happy to take. Here we can go ahead and go 5. And I'm not a huge fan of playing Sanji and putting on this turn. If I do, it's super easy for him to just go Smoker Mulligan, right? And then I probably lose on the spot. So just going to go ahead and play that stage with the Zoro Juro just to, filter our hand, get some bricks out. Sanji and Pudding not even going to draw there. Also, we haven't seen any Luffy Taros yet, so not incredibly unlikely that we won't find it. And if we do, then that means next turn we can Luffy Taro, which when you're playing versus, a semi-removal deck, or at least a deck that can remove Sanji and Puddings, it's really huge to be able to Luffy Taro combo. And here, the opponent thinking about what he wants to play out versus what number he wants to swing. Man, that Kobe card is so incredible for Smoker. Both new cards for Smoker are truly incredible. What do you guys think of Smoker? You guys think it's good? I gotta say, taking this, extraordinarily greedy. I think you're supposed to guard there for sure, or counter. And the only reason I took was I just kind of wanted to see what happened. I just kind of wanted to see what happens here if I take. My opponent doesn't really have that much in terms of board. And if I counter here, it's going to be harder to counter for my Zoro Juro. And it's going to be harder to counter for this Banish that I know is coming my way next turn. I do think that you are for sure supposed to counter there. But also we got the 2-cost event out of their hand for just swinging a single 6 this turn, which I think we're pretty hyped about. They use 2 Dawn, a counter event that's really strong on a single 6 swing. We could be in some real trouble if they Hody us, but, we have 4 2Ks and a 1K in our hand. I'm not going to do the math right now, but I think we were sitting okay. We can go ahead and 1K. This Mihawk being such an insane card for this Smoker deck. It's really, truthfully, it's insane how many upgrades the Smoker deck has gotten recently. Like, it's incredible. I think we can just pitch the 2 Sanjis here. This Zoro could potentially be good for us. Oh, just going to take. Really living life on the edge this game. Going to go ahead and start with a 6. Saying, you know what, my opponent's board isn't that big. It's not that scary. A lot of the time we would expect them to put a Bonnie on the board that turn to go just like one more wider. But they did not have it. So that's great for us. That's one less card that they have, it's one less blocker they have, it's one less swing they have. But just going to go ahead and Luffy Taro here. You could convince me that maybe this is a turn that we could play the Rush Luffy instead. I definitely don't hate that idea. I'm going to go 6 and 8. Smoker's board being just so massive on your turn. You know, the Kobe being a 7k, the Smoker being an 8k. Even though he doesn't have that many cards, it's just so hard to swing at board, you know, when the 5k leader is just sitting right there. But now 8 cards is not a small number of cards. And I really, really, really disagree with this first action. I think this first action is, you know, arguably what loses him the game. When you start, you know, by playing something, it tells me that you're not playing Hody, you're not playing DMG, you're not just attaching that Dawn. I understand that this Mihawk was only, you know, only a 2 cost, but why did we need to do all of this before at least getting in a couple swings? You know, we could have at least gone 6-8 with the Kobe and the Smoker just to kind of feel the temperature. You know, what if you go 6-8 and the 8-eye giant? You know, that's a pretty good sign for you to keep going. But we're going to go ahead and giant here. We find a Bagua, and now we're low-key hoping he swings, which he does not. We would have been ecstatic for him to swing that Mihawk. But here now, depending on how things go, we're kind of feeling it out. It's kind of hard to say if we 100% have to go for it. We probably do. I mean, he does have 6 swings. Yeah, we do for sure. He goes like 8-8. We have to like giant Bagua. Yeah, no, we actually have to go for it for sure. And this spider web is not making it especially easy, being able to counter out of that 8 while also restanding the Mihawk. And here I'm just double checking. You know, do I actually have to go for it? Hard to say, actually. Once we kill that, now he only has 5 swings. I mean, we probably do. It's probably super cope to say that we don't. If we were playing like blue-purple and we knew the top of our deck and we knew there were like more giants and just a lot of good stuff, then we probably wouldn't. But, you know, we're playing GP, so we know that the giant's going to draw us brick. So here I'm just going to go 7-8-8. In the face of a blocker, you really want to go as even as possible. Even though 9-9 represents 2 bigger swings. Like you get to double the Dawn of essentially. Like doubling the Dawn doesn't matter in the same way when he has a blocker, because one of them, you know, gets blocked. So really, you just want it to be as even as possible, and we do get there. So a bit of an interesting game. I think I probably took a bit more aggressively than I really was supposed to. But, you know, he didn't have Hody or anything to punish me. So, yeah, we take those. But I don't know. What do you guys think of these 2 decks? These 2 decks being obviously the biggest winners from PRB, at least at the moment. Both getting a lot of really good upgrades, you know, as we talked about the Smoker getting the Law and the Kobe. We didn't see the Law come down in this game, but it's actually really good pretty much versus everything, but versus GP for sure, you know, helping you clear up something like a Sanji and Pudding when it goes sideways, right? And then GP, of course, getting the huge consistency boost of that Nami is just insane. And then even the 4-cost Luffy's not bad, and we saw that I was playing this Zoro. I'm going to keep it a buck. If I do play this deck IRL, I will not be playing this Zoro because I'm not paying $9 for it. because I don't think it's that good. I think it's good. I think it would be a worthy inclusion, but I'm not paying $9 for something that I think is like maybe an upgrade, to keep it a buck with y'all. I'm a frugal man. If anyone would love to be the GOAT and wants to send me alt art Gum Giants, because you're like, Elijah, I'm your biggest fan. I want you to win Worlds. And I believe that you having these alt art Gum Giants will help you win Worlds. Hit me up on my DMs on Discord at eQuinby, and we can coordinate that. We can make that happen. But anyways, enough of that. Thank you all so much for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, please check out the description for my Metafy. I appreciate you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.